Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Louise. I'm the product manager over here at InfoTrack. I'm really excited to be doing a demonstration this morning of our new eCOS product and give you all a preview of something new and exciting that we're really excited to be launching to the market relatively soon. I have been working on this product for a few months now, and we're really excited to be demoing our new and updated version of the Law Society protocol forms and showing you our electronic solution for the Law Society forms and assisting with onboarding your clients electronically. So I've got the InfoTrack home screen up on the page here. Our new eCOS button just sits right at the top on the header and also as part of our sale workflow. So selecting eCOS, we've embedded this product into our home screen now, so it's a really easy way for you to obviously send out workspaces and all the relevant information without having to leave InfoTrack's homepage. The purpose of today, I'll be doing a demonstration of the product from both your side as the solicitors and also the consumers, your client side of the process as well when they go through to fill out all of the forms. I'll do the demonstration and then open up the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So as part of the embedded ordering within our home screen, we've incorporated our pre-population process as we do with all of other products on the system. So if I've started to work on this matter already, say I've downloaded offers copy entries, I already know the address of the property and the name of the sellers. I'll rename this just for my own details so I can send you through. I can send myself a copy of the email and show you what everything looks like from the client side of things. So obviously this is the information that the seller will receive via email. They can see the address of the property so that they know what the forms are in relation to and the matter reference from yourselves. I can add in any number of sellers, and where we've partnered with DocuSign, I can also incorporate an SMS verification. So this is a two-factor authenticator. This means that before I proceed to sign, I would be able to input a 6-digit code from DocuSign in order to proceed and complete the signatures and all of the forms. Similarly to our AP1 product, I can select bundles, common combinations of forms like the property information, leasehold information, and fittings and contents, or if it's freehold, obviously exclude the leasehold information there. If I needed to preview any of the forms before sending it out, again, I can do this from within the workspace, or if I realize that I didn't actually need the leasehold form, I can remove from the forms before sending it out. One of the things that we've also incorporated into the workspace is a seller questionnaire. So this will help ask questions in relation to the sale, if there's a purchase going on as well, and that sort of generic onboarding information that would need to be captured outside of the Law Society transaction protocol forms. One of the things that we've also incorporated into our new version of this product is additional documents. So this will allow me to import from my local files any documents that are specific to my transaction. If I wanted to view a care letter or a terms of business and send that out to my client to electronically sign, I can do that from within the system, from within the ordering page, and send that out in the same workspace as all of the other forms. Then I'll look at previewing my email message. We can set up customized templates and just request for property information. If I needed to edit any of the templates and customize it at all for this particular client before sending it out, then I can. You can also incorporate the feature if I needed to send on behalf of another user at the firm, I can select from the drop down here and send on behalf of one of my colleagues. Once I'm happy with the ordering side of things, I will hit send to client. So this is now generating an email and generating the workspace to send out to your clients, the sellers on this particular transaction. All of the information is obviously captured in our matter viewer. This will sit in relation to obviously any other products that I've ordered under this particular matter reference, which is the Edwards matter reference. So now I'm going to review from the consumer side of things. So I can double check obviously all of the information that I've sent everything out from, and that will come through to my inbox as the seller where I can start reviewing the workspace. One of the things that we've incorporated into the eCOS product and into the workspace is just a couple of different tabs to help you manage your transactions. So I can view all of the individual forms which I've sent out to my client and monitor the percentage of all of the forms individually. This will help me monitor obviously the progress from my clients and just see where they're at with all of the individual forms, and obviously assist if they're stuck at all. Fab. So this has now come through to me. So I'm acting as the seller on this transaction. I can see where I've ordered from the demo site. This is pulled through with our ABC Lawyers demo account information. This workspace can be accessed by sort of a number of means. It can be accessed via desktop, the email that we'll send through. Obviously, this will also generate if you needed to access via mobile as well. So I get a nice introduction to the workspace. I can see the address of the property that it relates to, who my solicitor is, and any other seller information. So I could see if I was selling with an additional party, all the parties who it's been sent through to. Once I click continue, this will give me the intro information for the property, for all of the forms that I've incorporated into my bundle, just to give that client that Law Society related information as an introduction before I proceed to the forms. If I had incorporated any other documents into the workspace, say again a care letter or terms of business, I would preview these documents within this workflow before I go through to the signing page, the forms page, sorry. So now I've landed into the actual workspace. Obviously, as you can see, first and foremost, we've removed all of the InfoTrack branding from this workspace, as this doesn't obviously mean anything to your clients. We want to make sure that they understand where this workspace is coming from, who they should refer back to. So there's no InfoTrack branding on the consumer side of the process. This would all be replaced with a firm's customized branding. Nice welcome message. It will tell me to get started, and then I can proceed to reviewing the forms. So as you can see, we've built a navigation bar on the left-hand side, which will give you a high-level overview of obviously all of the forms which have been incorporated into the workspace. The sale information is already at 100%, and you can see we've got all of the individual percentages, not just for the forms, but individual sections as well. We can pre-populate a lot of the information as well, obviously that we already know from the ordering page. You guys would have told us the address of the property and the names of the sellers, and then we already know the reference and solicitor details from the information within InfoTrack. So what I can then do is start to proceed and fill out the form as the seller. So I can send through unknown information, and we have a license agreement with the Law Society. So all of the content of these forms is exactly the same as the Law Society information. One of the things where we've obviously changed the structure of the forms for the consumer, it makes it a lot easier to navigate and understand which questions are required and which ones aren't. For example, are the boundaries of the property irregular? If I select yes, like we do for yourselves for the SDLT and AP1, we're going to show you information which is relevant to your transaction. So that means that your clients aren't going to have any confusion about the structure of the forms, what questions are required, obviously as some questions are required depending on previous answers. So as I've done here, if I say that yes, the boundaries of the property are irregular and I do have a plan, it's going to prompt me to upload a file, and again this will pull through from my local documents. If I'm reviewing the forms on mobile, the upload file button will also allow me to take a picture of a document. So this is a really handy feature for your clients who are on the go, even out of the country or just moving around quite a lot. They can easily snap a picture and don't have to find a scanner to upload any documents which they've got paper copies of. If I select no, I can indicate ownership by written description. So again, we have a child question structure set up to allow your clients to easily navigate all of the forms and what questions are mandatory for them to answer for their transaction. So if I select no, this then starts to update. And as you can see, the percentage of the forms is changing depending on my input and as I go through and fill out the questions. So as I go through and start to select no, this section is now at 100%, and I can move over to disputes and complaints. Again, we've pulled over all of the questions over from the Law Society formatted forms. It does look quite different, obviously, on the consumer side of things. We want to make sure that your clients are not only completing and sending these forms back faster, because obviously all of the forms are electronic, all of the signing is electronic. They don't need to wait before they get home to fill everything out manually via PDF and print everything off and then sign it, scan it, send it back in with no validations, no restrictions. There's no real rules to make sure that the clients are filling the forms out accurately. But now that we've incorporated the structure of the forms and made sure that clients can really easily understand what questions are mandatory and which ones aren't. Not only will you get the forms back quicker because everything's electronic, as I said, but you'll also get them back more accurately because they're not having to worry about what's being asked of them, essentially. And in addition to helping the clients send everything back more accurately, we've also incorporated all of the Law Society's guidance notes against each individual questions. So just as that first level FAQ to help your clients navigate the forms, there's a lot of legal jargon on there, and I still get confused. I've been staring at these forms for a few months now, and I still get confused over the structure from the Law Society formatted forms and what's being asked of me for these particular questions. So just to alleviate some of the questions coming into yourselves and your teams and obviously taking up a lot of your time, we've just input the seller, we've input information which could be relevant to the seller from the Law Society. So this will be there ready and waiting for them next to every individual question as they see fit. And this feature is obviously also available to them if they're viewing the forms via mobile. As you can see, again, the same information is available for the leasehold information forms. Again, one of the things that we do is for certain questions like 2.5, have the tenants formed a management company to manage the building. If I select yes, obviously it's going to request further information from me. And then if I go into contact details, it's going to request the managing agent information from for the contact details. If I said no to the previous question, we'll only show relevant information for their transaction. As with fittings and contents, I can easily run through and say what's included and what's excluded, and then put in the optional price and comments where needed. The seller questionnaire, again, is the generic onboarding information. We've pre-populated the address of the property, and then you can go through and start to fill out further information. One of the sections will also ask if you're purchasing a property. If I select yes, it's going to ask me further information about the purchase and obviously the details relating to the purchase side of the transaction. For seller details as well, I can input the full details of the seller and also multiply out these fields if there are multiple sellers where needed. As I go through the forms, obviously I can see that the percentages are now changing on all of the individual forms. If I move back to the solicitor side of things, so the view that you all would have of the workspace, I can see that the percentages have also started to climb. So this is really helpful for you all to manage the transaction, manage the forms which have gone out to your client. If the client is obviously stuck on a particular question, by selecting the form, I get this really handy pop-up where I can basically have a window into the client side of the system. So if they didn't understand what information they needed for any particular documents, or you already have a copy of them, you can go through and obviously start to fill things out with them, or just pick up the phone and obviously converse side to side without them needing to come into the office to explain further. Further to that, we have incorporated a few other additional features within the More tab. If we have two sellers for the property and one of them has signed, that will essentially lock the form so that the other seller cannot come in and amend any of the details before they go to sign. You've got the feature to lock and unlock the form so you can control whether people can amend or not. And also with the validity of the links within the email, say you sent it out to an incorrect but valid email address, and due to GDPR, you wanted to make sure that that client couldn't access that workspace, you can invalidate the link in that email so that they can no longer access it. We've also got a resend feature, so just down at the bottom, if you wanted to resend out the email, I'm sure some clients may delete the email by accident, these things happen, you can easily resend out a link for them to access the workspace. But now what I can do, again, going back to me being the seller and filling out the forms, just going to do a hack so I can show you through the signing side of things and generating the PDF. Obviously, one of the things that a major part of the consumer workspace that your clients would access is in relation to this brand new structure, this easy to navigate form structure that we've built. What we did want to do though, and what we've now done, is map over every single question response to the Law Society format. So as I proceed to sign, we'll tell the clients obviously that everything's ready to go and they can proceed to sign. And now we prepare the documents and generate the PDF before we reach the DocuSign side of things for electronic signatures. Part of the process for generating this PDF is mapping over every individual question, every answer, every sort of comment from your clients, all maps over to the Law Society formatted PDF at the end when I go through to sign. And that means that the document that you'll receive back via email, the document that will push back into InfoTrack, is the Law Society formatted form where all of the information has mapped over. So this benefits both yourselves and your clients. It means that your clients have the benefit of the easy to navigate structure of the consumer workspace, but it also means that when they come through to sign, as you can see, you'll all be familiar with this format of the form, all of the responses, all of the radio buttons here, and if I'd have said yes and needed further information, that all pulls through to the Law Society formatted forms. So as the seller, I just come through and adopt a signature. I can draw my own if I wanted to, or upload one. I can adopt and sign off not only all of the individual forms that I've sent through, but any other documents that you had imported into the workspace. Again, a care letter or a terms of business, that will also get electronically signed at the end before submitting. So then when I come back into InfoTrack, my forms tab would update, my document tab would update. I would receive an email with a complete version of all of the forms for you guys to review, send externally as and when you needed to. So yeah, that sort of concludes the demo portion of today. I wanted to open up to any questions from the group. Should have a Q&A button, I think it's at the top of your screen. So we've had one question come through. Could you show us the AML side of things, please? Yep, I can give you a quick overview. So our AML product sits at the top of the screen here. Obviously, this sits as a separate side to our eCOS product. This will allow you to input matter information, first name, surname, address, and risk profile details. I won't go into too much detail here, but I will reach out to this individual just to run through the full product spec of our AML search. As a preview to the group here, and those of you sort of called in, we are in the process of updating our anti-money laundering searches to do an enhanced version where we can send through alerts and ongoing due diligence for the client. So if you have any further interest in that, please do reach out to your account manager or our marketing team, and we can get in touch with the AML side of things. We've had another question, can we use bespoke client questionnaires? At the moment, we do just have the generic seller questionnaire, that the InfoTrack standard seller questionnaire that we've got set up on the system. We are in the process of incorporating other questionnaires into the system. We've reviewed multiple questionnaires that we've built as sort of an amalgamation of hundreds of different questionnaires that clients, solicitors have sent over to us. If there's any information missing, we can always look to incorporate. And if you wanted to send through any questionnaires that you send out as standard, again, we can incorporate any questions that are missing into our product here. But again, if you've got any sort of further information that you wanted to include, please do let us know what we've missed from our seller questionnaire. We've had another question, are we likely to include third fort type integration? We are looking at expanding our onboarding suite of products. We're looking to incorporate a facial recognition software into this eCOS product, and just other sort of modules to the product that can help you fully onboard your client, not just from the Law Society form side of things, but also the anti-money laundering due diligence side of things. Watch this space over the next few months. We will be incorporating that into our eCOS sort of pop up here. So you'll see sort of other features embedded into this ordering screen. One of the questions, how much does the eCOS cost, please? So it's £5.50 per envelope. This incorporates any number of forms. So if I select leasehold information, like all of the TA forms and a seller questionnaire, it stays at £5.50. It's £5.50 regardless of the number of sellers, so it won't increase if there are multiple sellers on the property. And any other documents that are incorporated into the transaction, it stays at £5.50 per envelope. Again, with all of our products, it's on a pay-per-use basis, so that will get, there's no sort of subscription fees or anything to use the eCOS product. Are you likely to provide a full end-to-end service, i.e. a full case system? We pride ourselves on our integration with various case management systems. We have sort of a large number of our client base accessing the system via case management. We won't look to create our own version, but we do have very sophisticated integrations with a large variety of the case management providers out there in the market. Again, if you wanted to discuss further integrating with an existing case management, or if there's further ways in which we could help you manage your matter and the orders which you put through InfoTrack, please do reach out to us and let us know where we can assist there. Is it possible to have a trial of the system? Absolutely. We're in the process of basically beta testing this product. We're really excited to obviously be previewing it and showing it to you today, and we'll be reaching out to you all individually, obviously, if you had any sort of further questions on implementing this product, but we can definitely discuss sort of trials for those of you who are interested. We do have a couple of other questions on here which I think we just need further information on, so I will follow up with you all individually. Were there any sort of further questions from anyone? Will we get your help in putting our logos and our client care letters to the client? Absolutely. We've got a team of us internally who are helping clients set up not only your branding, but logos and stuff like that. When we do get you all set up and using the system, we would send over copies of your branding and what it would look like for your firm and your clients before proceeding, and obviously get sign off from the teams and everything like that. We have a specialized team who are helping our existing clients, the people who are currently beta testing this product for us, obviously collecting feedback and implementing that and everything, but we're on hand to help you guys obviously set everything up. Same with every other area of the system, SDLTs, AP1s and stuff like that. We will be on hand to help you guys set everything up and get everything prepared before you implement this change to your onboarding process. We are in the process of releasing a few new features, so definitely watch this space here for things that we'll be launching through or updating to our ECOS offering. We have obviously a record of everyone who's attended today, and if you've had sort of any further questions, we'll be following up with you all individually. If there's no further questions this afternoon, thank you again for dialing in. Again, I'm really excited to be able to demo and preview this product to you all. We'll be reaching out to you individually, as I said, to follow up and see if you had any sort of further questions. If you do have any inquiries really about this product or any other products like our AML one, for example, in particular, please do reach out to our account managers or our marketing team, who can be accessed from marketing@infotrack.co.uk. Thank you again for dialing in this morning, and obviously any further questions, do please let us know, and we're very excited to be launching this product to the market shortly.